Hey guys, Two Dogs here, and you are looking at the unboxing of the Weatherby 20 gauge SA-08, which is semi-auto, and this is the deluxe model. So we're going to unbox it first time and take a look at what we get, and then we're gonna take it out and shoot it. Even though it's been field tested, we kind of want to shoot it for ourselves and see what it's like. So let's take a look at what we got here. Obviously it comes with the manual, and it'll take you through how to clean it, take it apart, disassembly, there it is, and whatnot, and parts and things of that nature. You guys can read through that. Check out, you all know what the basic shotgun information is. So one of the reasons why I got this rifle was the fact that the box is broken. No. That you have two different options for light and heavy load. If you guys can read this. Let me change the camera. So there's two pistons that come with the Weatherby. One for heavy loads, one for light loads. And I'm actually going to read to you when you use which. Whether it's 12 gauge or 20 gauge. So on the light load, and this is the 20 gauge, 7/8 ounce loads is for the light load valve. This one being heavy load is 7/8 to 1 5/16. So if you stick the heavy load guy in there, you just don't have to worry about it, right? You can handle all the rounds. But if you're shooting just light stuff for clay and skeet and things of that nature, there's a different one. Now, why is that important? Because this little guy actually controls how that shell ejects after you fire. So by having two, most lower end shotguns have one. This one has two. One, I'm hoping one is in the box already. So one note I want to make about these pistons is it says clearly in the instructions, it says it's recommended to use the heavy load piston first, and if there's a problem with gun cycling, then move to the light load piston. Okay, so that's something that you should be aware of. It says start with heavy and then move to light. There. Let's take a look. Now this is the deluxe model, so the deluxe model has a couple of advantages to it. One of them is the gloss finish to the woodwork. So you can see it shining in the light there, and just by feeling this right away, the nice grooves here. The inside of this is actually polished as well. Can you see that? It's actually sanded. Most of the time, guys, your lower end guns, they don't even sand this area on the inside. So that's nice and sanded in there that I can see. And just you can just see the shininess right out of the box there. So that's part of the deluxe model. And I'm going to zoom out my camera for a minute and get right back with you. Okay, so let's take a look at what's inside here. We'll take it apart. The trigger pull on this guy, they say, is 14.5 inch, right, from buttstock to end. There's obviously some kind of shipping oil. That's not a big deal. They just keep that from rust because it came from a long ways. So we can just wipe that off real quick. I'll deal with that later. But let's go ahead and take this off. Now there isn't like the Benelli's where you have a tip here where you can bust out the trigger pin, right, to do cleaning. I like when they have the tip there. And you'll also notice on this model that there are no swivels for if you have a sling, a shoulder sling. You're going to have to drill those yourself, which, by the way, I do all the time anyway. So let's take this guy apart. Again, just that's the kind of stuff that impresses me. The quality of the wood. Okay, and there it is. Whoo, thank goodness. Here's my piston. And this one says light load. And it's actually got a gasket or a valve around it. That's interesting too. So there's my light load. I can see that they've test fired it. Right, this is gas operated. So I can see that they've done their job there. Looking inside the bolt group, nothing fancy, very standard. I see that in all these style of guns. So we're going to take this out to the range and check it out. That's basically all there is to it. Chrome lined barrel, of course, comes with it. as you guys can imagine, with the new requirements around the steel shot. Taking out the barrel. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to show this. I will try. It is chrome lined. You can see it just a little bit. Okay, you want to definitely look for that. And we see that it is definitely made in Turkey. 20 gauge. It holds up to 3-inch shells, so not 3.5 and 20 gauge, although you don't need, if you're shooting a 20 gauge, you're not shooting 3.5. And nothing fancy here, just a simple bead. So that's the 26-inch barrel. And then what comes with this model on the SA-08 are 3 chokes. One of them is in. And I don't know if these are stainless steel or not. I don't think they are. So that might be a problem when you're shooting steel shot, right? So we have a modified, we have a cylinder, an improved modified. And then we have the ability for you, so we have spacers that actually allow you to have an angle tilt on your buttstock. So if you're one, when you bring that gun up to your shoulder and you lift up higher, you can drop it down a little bit or vice versa. And then here's the key for the chokes. It definitely looks like the buttstock pad was machined down. I'm not going to say that's the highest quality butt pad. You can always replace these, as you know. But that's what I'm seeing on mine. You can even see some issues there with just the grinding of the rubber pad. Alright, so let's put this guy together. The machining of the bolt looks pretty darn good. I'm actually quite impressed with it. You guys all know how to remove this and clean it, so I'm not going to get into that. But I went ahead and switched to the heavy load piston because that's what it recommends. So let's put the barrel on. So we slide this right over the top of the magazine. Pops into place there pretty easily. So far so good. Alright, so I'm all set up here. I've got a magazine plug for 3-shot shell limit, as you're all aware of. Put our forearm back on here. And I'm just going to leave it for now, guys, with the standard shim. I'm not going to change that right now. I'm going to leave it standard, see how it shoots, and I'll adjust if I need to based upon how I do it. So I'm going to pop this guy in here. Nice and tight in there. There's a little bit of a gap. Maybe that's me. Let me do this again. Okay, I'm jamming it in there. And now let me screw this on and see if I'm... There we go. Okay, that pop... Oh, there it is. It went in nicely once I screwed the cap on. So, real lightweight, nice and evenly balanced. It's comfortable to me in that regard. Real fine. Hey, for a low-end, average hunter or someone just getting started, this is the great way to go. And once you get good, upgrade to the Benelli and whatnot. But for now, this is a great starting gun to get things going for you. I'm gonna go now video it, video myself shooting this out, doing some trap, and we'll see how it works out for you guys. Okay, and I'll then disassemble it or disassemble the trigger and take a look at that too. Okay, thanks for watching.